इस मजबूत एयर डिफेंस ग्रिड के सामने विफल हो गए।
But it didn't end there. India launched a global outreach campaign to name and shame Pakistan, the fountainhead of global terror. India sent 7 delegations comprising of 50 parliamentarians to 33 countries. A bipartisan exercise to send India's message to all global capitals that New Delhi's military response was the result of Pak-sponsored terrorist attack which identified Hindus and shot them in cold blood. The global campaign aimed to isolate Pakistan at all avenues, from FATF to the UN, and ensure Pakistan's terror financing lines are completely choked. Operation Sindoor brought to fore India's long-standing challenge regarding the Pakistan-China collusion. From intelligence to specific military inputs, Pakistan relied on China, was aided by Turkey and Azerbaijan. The two-front war for which New Delhi has long been prepared for.
The success of Operation Sindoor also brought to fore India's sustained investment and focus on indigenous defence manufacturing. In fact, indigenous defence production hit a record 1.27 lakh crore rupees. Exports, defence export, clocked upwards of 23,000 crore rupees. Well, nothing tells this better than the export of the BrahMos missile to Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, and 2026 looks at bringing all those countries a lot more from India. Now, it's unusual for a bilateral relationship to witness so many seesaws in just a single year. But 2025 was one such year for the India-US bilateral relationship. And now this is a very consequential bilateral partnership, viewers. Everything from closer ties from technology to trade, all of it gets packed in this relationship. So 2025 actually started, this year started with the Prime Minister meeting President Trump just 3 weeks into his presidential tenure. And India, in fact, was the early mover to close a trade pact. Listen in.
मागा प्लस मीगा तब बन जाता है मेगा पार्टनरशिप और प्रॉस्पेरिटी। हम दोनों का मिलने का मतलब 1+1 2 नहीं, 1 और 1 11 होता है।
He's doing a great job in India. Everybody talks about it. He's doing a really fantastic job. A great leader.
मैं समझता हूं पूरी दुनिया में डील शब्द का कॉपीराइट एक ही व्यक्ति का है और उस व्यक्ति का नाम है ट्रम्प।
But the bonhomie in the Oval Office soon made for some sharp attacks. Why? Because India's denials to President Trump's desire and his repeated assertions to take credit for ending the India-Pakistan conflict had an impact. It had an impact on the partnership, even as the Prime Minister made India's position clear on the floor of Parliament. So this year saw the worst of racial attacks leveled by the senior-most members of Donald Trump's administration, officials who went to great lengths to, in fact, demean India by coming out with statements, everything from India being the Maharaja of tariffs to India being Kremlin's laundromat to Brahmins profiteering from cheap Russian oil. It just kept going. It then also went that it called Ukraine conflict Modi's war. That's what it said. And it also went on to say, these members of the Trump administration, that India doesn't care about Ukrainians being killed. Listen to what Peter Navarro actually said when he mentioned some of these choicest of expletives being used for its most valued partner, India.
Prior to the invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, India bought virtually no Russian oil. I mean, it was like 1% of their needs. So the argument somehow now, as the percentage has gone up to like 30 and 35%, they don't need the oil. It's a refining profiteering scheme. It's a laundromat for the Kremlin. That's the reality.
Trade talks, technological cooperation, military purchases, all left at the altar of personal hubris of Donald Trump, which witnessed Trump administration singling out India for purchasing Russian oil, despite not being the only one and most certainly not being the biggest purchaser of Russian oil and natural gas. This was a year, viewers, when India stood its ground, telling both the world and Donald Trump that hypocrisy will be called out, and India will do so at every forum. As energy security remained and continues to do so, it remains a key consideration for our foreign policy goals and objectives. Strategic autonomy are not just big buzzwords. This year witnessed India actioning its long-cherished foreign policy ideal, driving with President Putin and almost high-fiving with President Xi Jinping. Yes, this report tells you why India was at the center of the world's most powerful selfie this year. The world's most powerful selfie, sending a message to the world's most powerful man, US President Donald Trump. After weeks of disparaging comments and racist attacks from the Trump administration, India responded. The leaders of India, Russia, and China met at the sidelines of the SCO summit in Tianjin in China in September 2025. The show of unity meant India will not be pushed into a corner and it has options.
एलसीओ को लेकर भारत की सोच और नीति 3 मुख्य स्तंभों पर आधारित है। SCO, S security, C connectivity, O opportunity.
Months later, New Delhi rolled out the red carpet for President Putin. And as the two leaders who rode together, the optics were clear. India decided its own foreign policy on its own terms and will not be bowed down by any external pressure.
एक्सेलेंसी, मैं मानता हूं कि ये जो 2001 में आपने जो भूमिका अदा की, एक विजनरी लीडर कैसे सोचता है, कहां से शुरू करता है और संबंधों को कहां तक पहुंचा सकता है, इसका एक उत्तम उदाहरण भारत रशिया के संबंध है.
India's purchase of Russian oil, its deep defense and economic bilateral ties with Russia have been called out by Western capitals. They all wanted India to take a side. As the world's third largest importer of energy, for New Delhi there was only one side, one of national interest. As President Putin chose India for his first foreign visit, hours after meeting Trump's envoys for yet another round of unsuccessful peace talks, it was clear that the road to peace went not via Brussels or Berlin, but possibly via New Delhi. 2025 witnessed India perfecting the fine balance of negotiating with global powers on its own terms, keeping its interest and its sovereign interest at the very center. On that note, we slip into a very short break. We come back on the other side, get you all other aspects of why this year was so special for India. Stay with us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Actor of the Year,
Director of the Year,
Debutant Director of the Year,
Sports Performance of the Year.
The Actor of the Year award goes to...
And the award for NDTV Science Icon of the Year.
Welcome to the 20th edition of NDTV Indian of the Year 2025.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do. And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude. We're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship. The line of control, Shiv Arun, NDTV. Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV Network.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told.
One of the most powerful optics this year was all global tech CEOs making a beeline for India, one of the world's key economic engines powering the global economy, growing at a world-beating 8% plus. From trade pacts to massive investments by tech giants, India is now at the center of the next big economic wave. And this report tells you why it will lift all boats around the world. 2025 was a year that saw the who's who of global technology giants make a beeline for India. Microsoft and Amazon have together announced sweeping plans to invest heavily into AI systems in India with investments over $53 billion. Add to it Cognizant, Intel investments, and you get a much larger figure. To streamline and grow the semiconductor ecosystem in India, all global tech giants are betting on India. By its scale, thriving tech landscape, India will be the leader for the artificial intelligence adoption. Finding ways to harmonize multiple regulations for infrastructure development will be a key priority.
AI is reshaping our polity, our economy, our security, and even our society.
But it's not just tech. As the world's fastest growing economy, India is now a rising boat that is lifting others, particularly those in the developed world that are witnessing sub 2% growth rates. Tapping into the potential that India has to offer, 2025 saw the UK Prime Minister bring the largest trade delegation to India, followed by the EU delegation that comprised all the commissioners. Global growth stands at 3.2%. The Indian economy clocked 8.2% in the last quarter. This came in despite an unjustified 50% tariff hike by US on Indian goods and a weakening rupee. 2026 could see a trade pact with the US, which will unleash a new wave of investments. India is the big economic engine that the world is now relying more and more on. For long, India was viewed as the outsourcing capital of the world, but it is now looking to become the AI capital of the world. India will host the AI Action Summit early next year, as it looks to become the perfect bridge between the capitalist-led American model and the state-led, almost surveillance-focused Chinese model. And that bridge is what is going to define AI for around the world. India's space mission has reached incredible new heights. Air Force Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla became India's first astronaut to travel to the International Space Station. As Shukla touched new heights and limits of space travel, a new era in space began back home, where India is no longer a participant but a leader with a plan. Shukla's 18-day mission, including indigenous experiments aimed at enhancing understanding of human space flight and microgravity science, a singular mission has set the course for India's space sector. Now we're building, leading and shaping the future. Through missions that are both low cost as well as high impact, India has already announced 1,000 crore rupee investments into its space program, earmarked specifically for venture fund to space startups. India's space startup scene has in fact exploded, growing from just one in 2014 to now over 400 11 years later, building everything from launch vehicles to lunar rovers, from not just for India but for the world. Meanwhile, ISRO aims bigger, bolder as it readies its heavy lift rocket to launch a 6.1-ton class communications satellite into low Earth orbit. So when Shukla said with pride, "Sare jahan se acha," India took it as a challenge. Listen in.
अब जैसे मेरी ये यात्रा ख़त्म होने वाली है, आपकी और मेरी यात्रा अभी बहुत लंबी है. हमारी ह्यूमन स्पेस मिशन की जो यात्रा है वो बहुत लंबी है और बहुत कठिन भी है. लेकिन मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि अगर हम निश्चय कर लें तो तारा अभी प्राप्यंत है. इवन स्टार्स आर अटेनेबल. आज का भारत स्पेस से महत्वाकांक्षी दिखता है. आज का भारत निडर दिखता है. आज का भारत कॉन्फिडेंट दिखता है. आज का भारत गर्व से पूर्ण दिखता है. और इन्हीं सब कारणों की वजह से मैं एक बार फिर से कह सकता हूं कि आज का भारत अभी भी सारे जहां से अच्छा दिखता है.
India's countdown to a new space age has begun. For a billion Indians, Shubhanshu Shukla's journey is more than a mission. It's a signal. Our future is out there in the stars. Now, this was a year that was almost a breakthrough year for Indian sport, with athletes turning potential into global results. Across cricket, athletics, chess, shooting and para-sports, India delivered memorable performances and some historic victories. From record-breaking feats to world championship triumphs, the country announced itself as a rising force on every sporting arena, across every stage, across every discipline. Indian sport this year was unapologetic, relentless and undeniable. The rise isn't coming. In fact, it's already here. This report tells you why.
ICC Women's Cricket World Cup trophy.
In 2025, Indian sport moved from potential to proof. Cricket remained the headline act. The Indian women's team edged history.
ICC Women's Cricket World Cup trophy.
Lifting the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup for the very first time. Led by captain Harmanpreet Kaur and backed by match-winning performances from Smriti Mandhana and Deepti Sharma. At the junior level, India's under-19 side dominated the Asia Cup, with Abhigyan Kundu's record double century becoming one of the tournament's most defining moments. Indian athletics sent one of its strongest messages yet. Olympic champion Neeraj Chopra once again led from the front, winning gold on the international circuit and crossing the 90-meter mark, reinforcing his status amongst the world's most elite. At the Asian Athletic Championships, India finished second with 24 medals, including 8 gold. In chess, D. Gukesh continued his rise with victories over top-ranked global players. As young stars like Arjun and Pragananda delivered consistent elite-level performances, Divya Deshmukh crowned a breakthrough year for Indian chess. As India ended 2025 firmly established as the global chess superpower. Indian shooters returned to the world stage with authority. At the ISSF World Championships, Samrat Rana emerged as world champion in 10-meter air pistol, a statement performance ahead of the next Olympics. But perhaps the most powerful story of 2025 was not just about winning, but about resilience. Indian para-athletes delivered one of the country's best ever World Championship campaigns, winning over 20 medals on home soil. At the Asian Youth Games, India finished with a record 48 medals, underlining a system that is finally producing championships at every level. As 2025 closes, all eyes now turn to the Olympics, the ultimate test of India's sporting rise. The talent is undeniable, the victory is historic, but success on the world's biggest stage will depend and be more expectations from individuals, not just about brilliance. To compete consistently at the highest level, India must strengthen its grassroots program, invest in world-class training facilities, and build a pipeline that turns promise into podiums. Coaching, sports, science and mental conditioning cannot be optional. They must become standard. The challenge is clear: sustaining excellence, nurturing depth across disciplines, and transforming occasional triumphs into a culture of consistent global dominance. Indian sport has arrived. This year told you just that. But the real work and the ultimate reward lies ahead. Now, from the world's largest tent city in Kumbh to the flag-hoisting ceremony that marked the completion of the Grand Temple in Ayodhya, this was a year when India embraced its cultural heritage, its spiritual moorings, and doubled down on its yearning to break free from the colonial mindset, or as we say, the Macaulay mindset. But it did not just end there. This was a year when India ensured that it captured all global cultural destinations. Well, take Indian cinema. This was a year that Homebound made it to the shortlist for Best International Feature Film category in the Oscars. Well, King of Bollywood, Shah Rukh Khan actually made his Met Gala debut finally. Move ahead. Banu Mushtaq's win at the International Booker Prize brought the spotlight squarely back on Indian authors and women authors and the global appeal of their writing. Viewers, the inclusion of Deepavali in UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity list marks a historic milestone for India's rich cultural legacy. The recognition celebrates Deepavali not just as a festival, but as a living tradition that symbolizes the victory of light over darkness, knowledge over ignorance, hope over despair. And that brings us to an end of this very special edition of India Ascents. It was a phenomenal year, viewer, this year, and it sets the stage for what will be an equally defining 2026. Thanks so much for watching.
Front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindoor,
so many attacks,
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, to fighter jet cockpits, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break, live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig, until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
A very special moment for us,
as we announce NDTV Master Stroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
NDTV presents the Master Stroke Art Awards, an odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
Honoring the masters who define our creative landscape. Coming soon on the NDTV network.
3, 2, 1, and lift off.
It's a dream that everyone has harbored at some point in their lives. The second Indian to travel to space. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla joins us today on NDTV.
So I like to say, when you launch one person into space, you actually lift a million here on Earth. Bharat aaj bhi sare jahan se acha dikhai deta hai. It is really beautiful sight.
It is Asia's richest civic body. 2026 begins with Big Bang BMC poll.
Welcome back. You're watching NDTV 24/7 with me, Raisha Sehgal. Lots lined up for you on the show, but first the headlines that we're tracking for you on NDTV. Rahul Gandhi praises Foxconn's Karnataka ramp up. Lord's new women-headed iPhone unit. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav thanks him for acknowledging Prime Minister Modi's vision. Mega political development in Maharashtra. Sharad Pawar faction in touch with Ajit faction for Pune civic polls after Thackeray's. The question being, will Pawars reunite? Showdown over bail to rape accused Sengar. Plea in SC against bail to convicted rapist. CBI 2 to challenge bail order by the Delhi High Court. Actor Shivaji's sexist remark shames Nidhi Agarwal for getting mobbed. Says mobbed because of her clothes. Nidhi hits back. Says victims blaming is manipulation. Prime Minister Modi attends Christmas Day service. Special prayers held for Prime Minister Modi. Prayer, carols and hymns at Delhi Church. A Christmas gift, the Mumbai Cars operation start at Navi Mumbai Airport. First flight lands at the new airport as Mumbai enters the dual airport era. Water salute for the first flight. Khalida Zia's son Tariq Rahman returns to Bangladesh, ending his 17 years in exile that he was in the United Kingdom. Right now, this is regarding the Odisha Jeep scam. The Odisha government has now ordered an audit. This is, of course, a huge mega NDTV impact. The Odisha government has ordered a special audit into alleged irregularities surrounding the purchase and extensive customization of 51 Mahindra Thar all-terrain vehicles by the Forest, Environment and Climate Change Department. Rupees 12 crore, that's the amount which was spent for 51 Thars for forest rangers in Odisha audit ordered. Take a listen.
फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट में ऑफिशियली कितना करप्शन हो रहा है पिछली सरकार से, ये पूरा एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल, बहुत सारा ऐसे करप्शन हुआ। तो पहले धन्यवाद दे रहा हूँ हमारा मंत्री जी, उसके लिए इंक्वायरी बैठा दिया, इंक्वायरी का रिपोर्ट जो आएगा एक्शन लेंगे।
Shows that Odisha BJP government is just finding new and innovative ways to make money, to make their ministers richer, and they are involved in scams in every department. But our question is, where is the minister? He should come forward and issue a statement as to how these Mahindra Thar jeeps were purchased, why the remodification was sanctioned, how much money has been spent, to what purpose it is being spent, and who is benefiting from this.
All right, from on this, my colleague Dev Kumar is now joining me live. Dev, a clear impact of NDTV's big impact on the story, which we broke a few days ago, and now the Odisha government has ordered an audit, because this clearly shows how Odisha government's priorities are misplaced. A few days ago, we saw the athletes from Odisha who were traveling without any ticket and were forced to be in sleeper class, but now the Odisha government has ordered an audit on the amount being spent on those Thars.
Absolutely, the impact by the news which we covered. Odisha, 51 Thars was purchased last year in November. Government spent 7 crores for purchasing the vehicles, and why the additional 5 crores were spent in the Thar for remodification. A political flashpoint turned after a question was been done in the Assembly, Odisha Assembly, why such expenditures are done in the Thar, why the Thar were purchased to monitor in the deep forest and the forest areas like 22 wildlife, 22 sanctuaries and 22 forest point. Basically, 9 Thars are also deployed at Simlipal Wildlife Sanctuary. Basically, what we have learned from the past days that in Odisha, poaching activities, forest fire, to monitor
right,
these all type
of some technical glitch with my colleague there, Dev Kumar. He was just telling us about how this has been a big NDTV impact. A special audit has now been issued by the Odisha government into the alleged irregularities, financial irregularities surrounding the purchase and extensive customization of 51 Mahindra Thar all-terrain vehicles. Dev, if you can hear me, please continue what you're saying about how this is the result of NDTV impact right now on the Odisha government now ordering an audit. Dev, over to you. All right, in other set of breaking news that we're tracking for you right now, Sharad and Ajit camps are in touch for Pune civic polls. Supriya Sule has clearly said that Ajit Pawar has not given up the ideology. And Sule said that we are engaged in dialogue. That's, of course, the big question right now. After the reunification of Thakres, will the Pawars join hands too? I would just read out what Supriya Sule, the NCP SP, clearly said. She said that Ajit Pawar constantly says that he has not given up on the ideology. Before we go across to my colleague, listen in to what Supriya Sule said, the hint that she has given that the Pawars may reunite ahead of polls.
Ajit Pawar constantly says that he's not given up his ideology, is what he constantly says. In every speech that he has said, he keeps talking about Shahu Phule Ambedkar, he talks about YB Chavan. So he says he's committed to that ideology. Right now, we are in no position to comment about that. Right now, our focus is our corporation election. There's an outreach program from both sides. A lot of our colleagues have spoken to each other. We are engaged in dialogue with them, but no decision or no final offer has come.
All right, for more on this, my colleague Revati is now joining me live. Revati, after the Thakres reunification, will the Pawars join hands too? That's the big hint given by Supriya Sule. What are you catching up on this?
So currently from last 2 to 3 days, DCM Ajit Pawar is conducting various meetings with the candidates as well as the officers of his own party. And of course, there were talks about these two uniting together, and also Ajit Pawar confirmed that on 26th of December, he will be announcing that just for the PMC, Pune Municipal Corporation elections, the two NCPs have united, and also there have been talk about this since a few days now. And also there was a meeting conducted where NCP Sharad Pawar faction demanded around 40 to 45 seats in the upcoming PMC elections, but there is also information according to the sources that NCP Ajit Pawar faction have agreed to give around 30 to 35 seats. Now on 26th of December, Ajit Pawar will officially announce this, but everyone is really curious to know that whether this unification is just for the upcoming municipal corporation elections statewide, or it is just limited to the Pune Municipal Corporation elections, because NCP Sharad Pawar's faction Pune President Prashant Jagtap also resigned after this unification. He also confirmed that he will be not joining hands with NCP Ajit Pawar faction. So as I mentioned earlier, everyone is really interested to know that whether this coalition is just limited to PMC or it will continue for the statewide elections.
Right, Revati, thanks very much for getting us the latest there. What Sule has clearly said, we are still in talks, but nothing final if Pawars will join hands or not. For you, this one from the southern state of Tamil Nadu. Megastar power for TVK chief Vijay, who has of course taken out multiple rallies in the past few days. In the latest, Kicha Sudeep has now hailed Vijay. Sudeep has called Vijay a visionary, and he has rather praised TVK chief and Tamil superstar Vijay. He's not just called him a visionary, he's also called him a big dreamer with exceptional clarity. And of course, this endorsement by Kannada actor Kicha Sudeep has rather generated immense buzz regarding Vijay's political career. Take a listen to what the Kannada actor Kicha Sudeep said for TVK chief Vijay.
நீங்களும் விஜய் மாதிரி அடுத்த முதல்வர் ஆசைப்படுறீங்களா?
நல்லா பேசுறவர் எல்லாருமே நாங்க அப்படி போக முடியாம சார். நான் கர்நாடகால வந்துடுவேன். இந்த மீட்டிங் அப்புறம் கர்நாடகாக்கு தான் போறேன் வாபஸ். போதும்.
Ritu is now joining me live. Ritu, talk to us about how this endorsement by Kannada actor has rather amplified TVK chief's his endorsement ahead of the polls in Tamil Nadu.
The heat is up in Tamil Nadu over the elections, the assembly elections that we are going to witness in few more months now. But you now have the the film industry also somewhere talking about what's really happening with Vijay and his charismatic leadership quality, for that matter. On those lines, you have Kicha Sudeep, a popular Kannada actor, coming out and speaking about Vijay being, according to him, a visionary leader. Now needs to be seen. Now remember, during that of an assembly elections here in Karnataka as well, there was quite a huge buzz whether that Kicha Sudeep will really join BJP and be seen contesting as well the elections. However, we had him denying back then as well, but this time again he calls it out to be out from the politics and says that all that is not meant for him for now. But he of course looks up to the to Vijay, basically the TVK chief as well. But this just ahead of his film release too. Now needs to be seen, whether we will really be seeing some of those South actors coming to back Vijay during his rallies as well. That would really be interesting to see there.
Right, absolutely, Ritu. We'll wait and have to see how, with a slew of endorsements for TVK chief Vijay and his rallies that he's been conducting in Tamil Nadu, how well does that pan out for the TVK chief Vijay? In other news, there is a credit war which has erupted over Foxconn's Karnataka factory ramp up. Taken to a social media handle, Congress MP Rahul Gandhi had rather praised Foxconn factory scale up. The MP said that 30,000 people had been hired over the past 9 months, and that was the example of transformation job creation. Gandhi went on to say that Karnataka is setting an example for creating more jobs. Not just that, Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav reacted to the post and commenting over it, he thanked Rahul Gandhi. He said that the Congress MP is finally acknowledging the success of Prime Minister Modi and his Make in India program. The minister went on to add that India is now becoming a producer economy by implementing Prime Minister Modi's vision. Now, Taiwan-based Foxconn is a contract manufacturer of Apple devices, including the most recent iPhone 17, and is expected to lead a China to India shift in that company's production strategy.
This particular post on the X that's been really put first by Rahul Gandhi, and then now you have Ashwini Vaishnav, basically a senior leader, reacting to it, is a quite interesting post now, mainly because we are seeing how that there is a credit war that's really on right now. Because remember, just a couple of days back on Mondays when that we did have the Karnataka's IT Minister Priyank Kharge taking this whole detailed post on his X platform where he speaks about how that in the form of the ESDM investment hub and as well as the chip design industry as well, how Karnataka is really leading and being a front runner, and more importantly creating around of that thousands of jobs as well, where importantly almost 80% of that remains to be the women staff. Now that's where this whole debate has really come to the fore. You have Rahul Gandhi praising this move here in Karnataka, where you have now Ashwini Vaishnav reacting to it and saying that glad that Rahul Gandhi at least this time has spoken something great about what really is happening in the economic world here in India when we talk about another product. Now needs to be seen how is this really going to pan out in the coming days too. Back to you.
Right, so that was the update from Karnataka. Now, staying on with stories from the state of Karnataka, amid the ongoing leadership tussle in Karnataka, AHINDA communities are set to hold a massive convention in Mysuru in January to back Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. Now, the leaders of AHINDA Ahinda met in Mysuru today, finalizing the date and venue with plans to mobilize nearly 25 to 30,000 people under the theme, and I'm quoting here, Siddaramaiah, the need of the hour. The convention is now being seen as a show of strength for the Chief Minister. Reacting to the move, Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Sivakumar said that he wished the organizers well. However, the former Prime Minister H.D. Devagowda launched a sharp attack, calling the Congress government one of the worst in Karnataka and also questioning the AHINDA campaign that they're now taking out for the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah.
So there is a rally which is being planned in Mysuru. Yes, sir. Many say that this is a show of strength. Many say this is a show of strength.
I wish everyone good luck to them.
One of the worst government which I have seen in my life. In seven decades I am in public life. Worst government I have seen.
But sir, do you see the Congress High Command should resolve this issue here in Karnataka as soon as possible?
They cannot.
Why do you say, sir?
Rahul Gandhi is very much concerned about vote chori. He is not concerned about the Karnataka.
But sir, what do you see, sir? You have Ahinda now, which is rallying behind the CM, saying he needs to complete 5 years. Sir, as a senior leader, how do you see?
What is that Ahinda? Am I not given reservation to Muslims?
Continuing with some breaking news for you at this point of time, this is of course Rani Unnao rape survivor. She has now slammed the bail order to Sengar. The Unnao rape survivor says, and I'm quoting here as to what she said, "I'm hurt that such a judgment has been passed. This is the first order in the country where a rape accused has been granted bail and the sentence has been stayed." What was the CBI doing before? The CBI's IO has met with Kuldeep Sengar, the accused. I have not yet filed any petition in the Supreme Court from my side. Well, those are the words of the Unnao rape survivor, who has clearly shown her displeasure, her anger over the Unnao rape accused, who has now been granted bail.
जैसे हाई कोर्ट में जजमेंट हुआ है, मुझे आहत और मुझे दुख हुआ है कि ऐसा जजमेंट हुआ है और देश में पहला ऑर्डर हुआ है जो रेप के आरोपी को जमानत दी गई सजा रोकते हुए।
मैम, सीबीआई ने भी कहा है कि हम इस चुनाव।
सीबीआई पहले क्या कर रही थी? सीबीआई का आईओ मिल चुका है कुलदीप सेंगर से। अभी मैंने अपनी तरफ से कोई सुप्रीम कोर्ट में याचिका दायर नहीं की है। अभी मेरे महमूद प्राचा सर जी याचिका दायर करेंगे, उस पर बहस करेंगे। मुझे उम्मीद है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट से मुझे न्याय मिलेगा।
For more on this, my colleague Tejshri is now joining me live. Tejshri, as things stand right now, the Unnao rape survivor has, of course, shown her anger after bail was granted, after Delhi High Court granted bail to Kuldip Sengar. She has not filed any petition in Supreme Court. That's what she said. That's what we heard right now. But moving forward, what are some kind of actions that she can take, and how do you see the situation panning out right now?
Well, you see, absolutely, we have been seeing that since the order has been passed by the Delhi court, the Unnao rape victim has been protesting along with the activist Yogita Bhayana, say it be, at Mandi House, or say it be at the India Gate or anywhere in the national capital. But then they were also manhandled. We saw that how those devastating pictures where the victim herself was manhandled by the cops. Apart from that, talking about the recent development that has taken place, where the CBI is in process to approach the Supreme Court for the verdict that was given by the Delhi court, and apart from that, a plea has already been filed by advocate Anjali in the Supreme Court as well, as far as this entire matter is concerned. But again, the Unnao rape victim goes on to ask that where was CBI all these days? Why, in fact, the action is being taken so late is what she meant to say. Not just that, but she has also, in fact, stated that the IO, the investigating officer of the CBI, has even met Kuldip Sengar, the accused in this entire case, who still remains to be in jail for the 10 years of imprisonment in custodial death of Unnao rape victim's father. So now we'll have to see, that number one, that when the Supreme Court will be taking up the case, that's the plea, in fact, that's been filed by advocate Anjali. Number two, when will the CBI be approaching the Supreme Court? Because what we are learning from our sources is that they are already in the process. And when will the rape victim, Unnao rape victim, who is on the roads, even in the midnight, holding candles in her hand, along with activist Yogita Bhayana, and have been demanding nothing but only justice. Remains to be seen that how long it takes for a rape victim to get justice and put the accused behind the bars in this particular case.
Right, and of course the big question that she's asked the Unnao rape survivor, why has the bail sentence be delayed? But thanks, Tejshri, for getting us the latest right now. All right, staying on with this story right now and telling you all that has happened. The CBI is set to move to the Supreme Court against the suspension of Kuldip Singh Sengar's life sentence in the Unnao rape case. Well, the Delhi High Court on Tuesday granted bail to the former BJP MLA, suspending his sentence while his appeal against conviction remains pending. The CBI and the survivor's family had strongly opposed the bail, which was announced by the Delhi High Court yesterday, citing serious safety concerns and past threats. Remember, the Unnao rape survivor had called the High Court's decision call or death for a family and has announced plans to approach the Supreme Court right now. Yesterday, the survivor and a mother were removed from a protest in Delhi where they were demanding justice and protection as to how the person who raped her was allowed to walk free. Listen in to the reactions that are coming in on this.
काश हम सब देख पाते कि अगर सीबीआई सच में सीरियस होती, ऑपोज करती ना उस चीज़ का, जब वो आर्ग्यूमेंट्स चल रहे थे, जब वो इस चीज़ की तरफ बढ़ रहे थे, तब उनको करना चाहिए था। अब खाना पूर्ति कर रहे हैं, या मैं कैसे बोल दूं, बट जहाँ तक कि मेरा माइंड कहता है इतने सारे केसेस को देखते हुए कि सीबीआई ने भी बहुत अच्छा काम नहीं किया। पर अगर अभी भी उनको जागृति हो गई है और अगर वो जा रहे हैं तो एक अच्छी बात है। एक साइन है, ये सिर्फ दिखाने मात्र ना हो, सच में वो इसको अपोज करने के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट जा रहे हैं या सिर्फ दिखावा मात्र कर रहे हैं, जाना तो पड़ेगा ही उनको। तो बस इतना है, मुझे थोड़ा सा संदेह है।
देखिए, जहाँ तक मैं उनके बाहर आने की बात करती हूँ तो मेरे ख्याल से कोर्ट में मामला चल रहा है और कोर्ट इस बात को अच्छे तरीके से देख रहे होंगे कि क्या उनकी सारी प्रक्रिया है जो भी है। लेकिन रहा सवाल पीड़ित परिवार का, तो पीड़ित परिवार को तो मैं भी सुनिश्चित करना चाहूँगी कि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी की नॉलेज में ये है और उनको सुरक्षा भी दी गई है और उनके परिवार को मुझे लगता है कि कोई खतरा नहीं है, क्योंकि उनको ये मान लेना चाहिए कि अगर हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जी अगर किसी बात को कह रहे हैं तो उस बात में कुछ ना कुछ तो दम है। तो उस लड़की के जैसा जो भी आह्वान था, जो वहाँ वो बिटिया थी जो उन्होंने कहा, तो उनको लेके सारी उनकी सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित है। तो मुझे लगता है, और रहा सवाल उनके बाहर आने का, तो मुझे लगता है कि कोर्ट से अच्छा डिसीजन कोई नहीं लेगा और जो कोर्ट का फैसला है वो सर्वमान्य होगा ही, जो भी कोर्ट डिसाइड करेगा।
In other news, operations have started at the Navi Mumbai International Airport. The first flight, which was that of Indigo, landed a short while back. The development is expected to reduce congestion in the existing Mumbai International Airport, and it would rather also significantly boost capacity in the Mumbai metropolitan region. On the first day, Indigo, Yearender Express, Akasa Air and Star Air are operating domestic services connecting the new facility to 9 destinations across India. Adani Airports Holdings co-developed the airport, and the group chairman, Gautam Adani, was himself present at the airport today. The launch of the Navi Mumbai Airport comes at a crucial time as Mumbai's only airport, the CSMIA, is running almost at capacity with severe constraints right now. The launch will serve as tremendous relief, with the passenger growth in Mumbai predicting to only grow further.
We have the man himself, Mr. Gautam Adani, joining us, who's greeting and welcoming the passengers with a bright smile. Sir, the excitement is in the air. We saw, passengers clapping. We are seeing a new gateway altogether when we talk about the aviation, sir. What's like for you now?
Oh, actually, this is a very proud moment for Mumbaikars, and we are really fortunate where we got basically rights to develop this airport. It's a brand new airport, and we try to make it the world-class airport.
Sir, at this point in time, what would your really message be to the passengers? I saw them all with the phones up, being excited to take selfie with you.
No, this is actually Mumbai was struggling since last 10 years to having the more facility on airport side, and the present Mumbai airport was actually fully jammed, and this will basically ease out basically air traffic, basically movement in Mumbai side.
So thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. There you have the man himself putting out a word saying that how important is each and every passenger for him and everybody here who have landed at Navi Mumbai International Airport.
Well, lost liner for you, but right now slipping into a very short break. Come right back. You're watching NDTV 24/7. Are you ready for the best show in town? NDTV Golf Pro-Am. We are coming to your city. Stay tuned.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gaurie Dwivedi, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
3, 2, 1, and lift off.
It's a dream that everyone has harbored at some point in their lives. The second Indian to travel to space. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla joins us today on NDTV.
So I like to say, when you launch one person into space, you actually lift a million here on Earth. Bharat aaj bhi sare jahan se acha dikhai deta hai. It is really beautiful sight.
This was one of the most magical, mystical performances we've seen.
This is like a shrine.
Coming and listening to you is like seeing a maestro perform at that shrine.
I think it was when he had sang himself for the longest Qawwali. Yes, that for me was special.
When the first claps came in, I think my only prayers was all of you should be healed. May God give you a lot of prosperity, health, love, long life.
I was mesmerized. I think it is one of the most magical evenings that I've spent.
बहुत ही अच्छा.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, Rahman is unmatchable.
It connected me to some spirituality.
This is India for me. This is India. This India I grew up, and this India I'm seeing now. It will never change.
When you have somebody like A.R. Rahman, legend, maestro, I don't know which word should we choose. It was just a treat. Pulling us
Other opposition parties. They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Actor of the Year.
Director of the Year.
Debutant Director of the Year.
Sports Performance of the Year.
The Actor of the Year award goes to.
And the award for NDTV Science Icon of the Year.
Welcome to the 20th edition of NDTV Indian of the Year 2025.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They are now India's smallest, but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to. And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude, we're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship, the line of control, Shiv Arur, NDTV.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV Network.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindoor.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of
The NDTV Debutant Director of the Year is Aryan Khan.
He is a storyteller who stepped behind the camera with a clear sense of purpose.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Aryan Khan.
Aryan, many congratulations.
Thank you. सबसे पहले मैं अपने कास्ट, क्रू और नेटफ्लिक्स को थैंक यू कहना चाहता हूँ, जिन्होंने एक फर्स्ट टाइम डायरेक्टर पर इतना भरोसा किया और मेरे साथ इतने प्यार, मेहनत और एंथुजियाज्म के साथ काम किया. Congratulations to all the winners tonight. ये मेरा पहला अवार्ड है and I hope मुझे और भी बहुत सारे अवार्ड्स मिलेंगे क्योंकि मेरे डैड की तरह मुझे भी अवार्ड्स बहुत पसंद हैं.
Proud to say the Actor of the Year, female, I'm sure you all know, Janhvi Kapoor.
Huge round of applause for Janhvi Kapoor. Congratulations, Janhvi. Thank you all for joining us. Janhvi, if I could request you to stay back. My colleague Arun is waiting to have a chat with you.
Many, many congratulations, Janhvi. Give her a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Before I ask my questions, of course, give us the acceptance speech, Janhvi.
This means a lot to me, and it's my first award for this very special film that I've done, and Neeraj sir, my director, is in the audience today. It's ironic because I did this film really without wanting anything in return or having any sort of expectations, which is something that you seldom do in the industry that I come from.
I had a tiny little thing for you to see. If we can have that AV play out for Janhvi, please.
Devi back, better than ever before. She's our Entertainer of the Year. Devi, just to say, when Bollywood heroes get older every year, their heroines get younger. You've changed that around. Thank you for the compliments.
Janhvi, 2012, and now cut to 2025. What does this make you feel?
I didn't know this. I don't think I recalled that she was here, but I could tell she was very excited about the honor. And one thing that we definitely have in common is that we're both very nervous speakers on stage, clearly. But no, this was so special, and thank you so much for sharing this with me. I think that as a public person and having this part of my life be such a public aspect of it, I'm sort of forced to put on a brave face and behave proper and polite and, not too emotional or not too personal about things. But this was a very personal moment for me, and I'm so moved by it. And this award is such a special award. Like I said, it's my first for Homebound and all of that, but this made it even more special. So thank you so much.
So the award in the Sports Performance of the Year goes, and very befittingly, to the Indian women's cricket team.
A huge round of applause, please.
Folks, imagine this is the stadium. Can we have it up for them? Come on. Woo!
Can we have a warm round of applause, please? I don't know so much about the others, but when the finals was going on, I must tell you, Harmanpreet, Jemima, Amul Saab, that we had tears in our eyes when the match was going on. That's how special this was. A very warm round of applause for these very special girls, please.
Thank you
सो मच आज हमारी टीम को ये अवार्ड देने के लिए. आई थिंक हम सब के लिए ये अवार्ड बहुत मैटर करता है बिकॉज एज यू ऑल नो कि हम लोग कितना हार्ड वर्क कर रहे थे अपनी कंट्री को प्राउड फील करवाने के लिए और फाइनली वी हैव कम टू दैट पॉइंट वेयर एवरीवन इज़ सो प्राउड ऑफ अस. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू सो मच. और रही बात मेरी तो आई थिंक बहुत प्यार और रिस्पेक्ट मिलता है इस टीम से और बड़ा मज़ा आता है सबके साथ खेलकर और सबके साथ हार्ड वर्क करके. और या आई एम सो प्राउड कि मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली इस टीम को लीड करने के लिए और जो ड्रीम हम सब ने इतने सालों से देखा उस ड्रीम का पार्ट बनने के लिए. सो आई एम जस्ट सो ग्रेटफुल, सो थैंकफुल एंड इससे ज़्यादा मेरे पास वर्ड्स नहीं है बट आई एम सो ग्रेटफुल.
The Actor of the Year award goes to Vicky Kaushal.
NDTV Indian of the Year 2025. Entertainer of the Year is Vicky Kaushal.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a very warm round of applause? And we got a sense of how power-packed his performance is. Most people who come into an audience take some time to warm up and to get started. Vicky Kaushal was in the lift, half the function had already happened, the girls had sung, they had danced. He came down and on cue, he brought the show together. That was quite fantastic. Congratulations.
शुभांशु सर, अगर आपकी बायोपिक के लिए एक कैरेक्टर को चुनना है, एक किरदार को, एक एक्टर को चुनना है, तो आपकी चॉइस कौन है?
See, now that Vicky has said that he would like to play me, nothing else comes to mind. So, I think he would be a great.
It'll be an honor,
do
sir.
a great job.
It'll be an honor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
The Director of the Year award goes to Neeraj Ghewan.
We have a huge round of applause, please, for Neeraj Ghewan.
कुछ फिल्ममेकर ऐसे होते हैं जिनकी कहानियां थिएटर में देखकर हम शोर मचाते हैं, पर कुछ ऐसे होते हैं जो हमारे अंदर शोर जगा जाते हैं, जो शायद थिएटर से निकलने के बाद हमें सोचने पर मजबूर कर जाते हैं, कैमरा बंद होने के बाद अंदर के इंसान को जगा जाते हैं. मसान से होमबाउंड से आपकी कहानियां ऐसी ही हैं. बहुत सारे सफल लोग यहाँ पर हैं, लेकिन जब होमबाउंड हम देखते हैं तो हमें लगता है कि वो जो सफलता के पीछे खामोशी है, वो जो कुर्बानी है, उसे आपने एहसास झकझोर दिया. ये अलग फिल्म क्यों? मसान, होमबाउंड.
देखिए, क्योंकि मीडिया में या मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया में अगर कहूँ तो कहानियाँ जो बोली जा रही हैं वो शायद सिर्फ 15% पॉपुलेशन की बोली जा रही हैं और शायद वही लोग अपनी कहानियाँ बता रहे हैं, लेकिन रेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया उसकी बातें कोई नहीं कर रहा. पीपल हु आर मार्जिनलाइज्ड, पीपल हु आर इन द विलेजेस, पीपल हु कम फ्रॉम डिफरेंट बैकग्राउंड्स, देयर स्टोरीज आरंट बीइंग टोल्ड. सो I thought that why shouldn't I look at it? Because in Hindi cinema or across media, we see that most of the stories are limited to the 15% population of India, and we're ignoring a large percent of the population. Maybe that's why.
Yes, the award for Transformational Leader of the Year goes to Jay Shah.
Leadership isn't only about preserving tradition. It's about having the courage to change the game. Jay Shah did just that.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a very warm round of applause, please, for Mr. Jay Shah, one of his very rare media appearances. Stays as far away from the camera light as anyone I know. Can we have a warm round of applause for this special moment and for this special achievement? Mr. Shah, congratulations for winning the NDTV Transformation Leader of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause before the acceptance.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, Honorable Chief Justice Sir, thank you so much. Thank you, Sanju Bhai. Thank you, Pranav Bhai. I would like to thank NDTV and jury for this honor and respect. And I would like to dedicate this award to all our girls who won the World Cup. And I would like to add one more name, Mr. Majumdar, because you are also contributed a lot, so it's dedicated to you as well.
The Brilliant Actor award goes to Ahan Pandey.
Our favorite. What a smashing debut, ladies and gentlemen. Can we have a warm round of applause as we welcome our debutant of the year, Ahan Pandey. Ahan, come.